evening. I'm Miguel, Lloyd, host of Life Full Circle Radio. Nope, I ain't shaving for y'all this week. Had a busy weekend. Somebody had a birthday party, and basketball don't stop. So anyway, we're gonna get into it today with a lot going on. Elon Musk still rage firing people by email, and then other people in the department say, ignore that. Joy-Ann Reid, who I have on this screen over here, just did her last show, the last readout, which I could probably go back to our show somewhere around the end of December. I saw this coming because we'll talk about that, because the MSNBC of NBC is probably going to be spun off into its own. So there's that. My man Ike and Fanbase. There was a lot going on this weekend with that. You may be somebody Kia's familiar with. It's an influencer. She's got a lot of people who follow her, but not as many as she thinks, because she thinks that she can shut down Fanbase by blowing up a weekend. Nah. A lot of stuff going on. I think Kia's going to talk to us about his new deputy FBI director. I think I got some clip of him too, talking with Tarver Swan, I believe the brother's name is. So anyway, let's go. Follow us on all the social media platforms. We are on Facebook. We are on YouTube. We are on Twitch. Trying to hang. That's funny. We can have some conversation about Twitch, about how Twitch is ran by people who don't look like me, and how that blew up the whole internet the other day. Super producer,
what's up? This is 40.
Happy birthday to you.
Did you notice we never sang happy birthday?
Why?
We just didn't. We didn't sing happy birthday, and my mom decided she did not have time to go get the cake from Publix, so it never even got picked up.
I was like, we did that on cake. We gotta, man. What I tell you, so the birthday song that he was going to play the Martin Luther King, the Stevie Wonder version, and then he went into his own version of the Stevie Wonder version of the birthday song, and we were having this conversation offline. I don't think your DJ. So if people don't know, we went to Tampa yesterday. Not yesterday, day before yesterday, for Kia's 40th and her mom's 70th birthday party, and it was amazing. And Kia's daughter still doesn't like me, but we're good.
Amazing's a stretch. I mean, the party wasn't. It was amazing's a stretch. Let's be honest.
Hold on, whoa! Why did you just jump to that? I wasn't ready for that. Go ahead.
Amazing is a stretch, but like Miguel said, they came. My party was nice. It was so wonderful being there with all of my friends. But when you have a party with your mom, you got to be there with your mama friends too. And when you're there with your mama friends, it's like a weird crowd of people. And I don't know. I guess for me, I kind of thought if they hear the music and they're eating the food and they're having a good time, they'll get up. And if you notice that there was a back table of people who are my age, who are my mama's friends, who didn't even move. I'm like, y'all so filled with the Holy Spirit, y'all can't even get up and wobble or nothing.
With your mama there, yeah.
My mama was ready to dance. She was gonna do every line dance.
Oh, it's so funny. No, it was cool though. But that was one of the most eclectic mix of folk in that room, ranging from Black to Indian to white to older white to younger Black to
old as hell white, because my mama's friend Roy, I think he's 83.
Ooh, he said something. I heard him say something about he had graduated before she was born. I was like, but she just turned 70. So, brother. And then you had then I saw I think he was either one of your uncles or one of your cousins who had the matching shirt and short set with the baseball cap. I said, yeah, that's somebody's uncle right there. He was back behind there trying to help cook. He was cooking.
Oh, Lil Mac, that's my cousin, and he own that stuff. So that's why he stay in the back.
Ain't nobody asked you what that man was on. Leave that man alone.
When he gets some shame, I'll have some shame. He on that stuff, but he comes and supports, and also he wanted to get a plate of food. So cool. He comes and helps so that he can get a plate of food. I always like.
Hey, I don't care what you said. I don't care what you say. I had a good time, and anytime you let me get the mic, then I have a good time. So I had a chance to love on my sister right there.
I love everybody who came out. And I'm glad everybody. It just warmed my heart to see all of my friends there throughout the years, and I wish I could have talked more, but my mom talked enough for both of us, so there's that.
Yeah, that's funny because one of our, you call him our nemesis, your friend, what's his name? Chris? Is his name
Chris.
Chris?
His
Chris,
name is Chris.
who sometimes comes in our audience, and I don't know, maybe he'll come and hang out with us. If not tonight. And Chris had his button up, and he's, regular old dude. He said, "You know me?" No, I don't.
I'm like, no, creepy white man who just came up and said it to me. Like, what are you, a serial killer? Like, why are you? What? Who are you?
So then he shows me his profile picture, and we get a good laugh out of it, and it's funny. Hey man, we have fun in these streets, and sometimes we
Yeah.
may not agree on certain things. We're not going to agree on a lot of things in life, but it is what it is. I want to say, what's up to any of our newest viewers who may be coming to check us out. My man, Jay Finesse was spinning on Twitch, and he sent a few people, and there's a few other people that's coming to hanging out with us. So what's up? Welcome to the Life Full Circle Radio family. I love music. I don't spin like my man Jay Finesse, but I can get I'm representing the tribe right now. Midnight Marauders. All right, let's jump into the show today. All right, so a lot going on. I'm going to say we're going to start because it's just easy because it's on my screen with the muskrat. All right, so Elon Musk directed deadline looms for federal workers to list accomplishments or risk of losing their job. So Elon Musk continues to run amok in these streets. And even to the point that people that he's telling everybody, so he ain't send no email to just certain people. He just sent a blanket email and just said, "I'm gonna put it all. I'm gonna hit send to all," and boom. Everybody had to send an email by the end of the day today of what they didn't got done today, and you better send it, or we're taking it as a resignation. And some people from other departments, whoa. We got some people who got some nuclear codes and stuff that we might need them to work. At least, y'all. Some of them say ignore it. Some people say wait for further direction. Some people say, and this clown out here with a chainsaw somewhere talking about he's cutting everything. Them your people's right there, kid.
And let's just talk, and that was probably the goofiest one because we really do need the nuclear people with the codes and the stuff and know which buttons to push because the rest of us, we don't know. But there's even more cuts that made less sense that are actually needed. And that's our national park services. We don't think about these park rangers. We always make goofy jokes about park rangers and we don't care. But in reality, these people have real jobs that are actually functioning, make these parks function.
Absolutely.
And he got rid of thousands of national park rangers.
Yeah.
And they're all on social media now saying, I got a letter saying that I wasn't good at my job, effective at my job. But wait, here are the past 5 years of my performance reviews. Like, here's everything my boss, here's the award I just got last year. So why am I getting this email? And when people who are park rangers started listing the job that they have, I was like, oh, y'all do real stuff. I be forgetting y'all do real stuff. For example, if Miguel got lost on the trail and he ain't got no phone service, who do we think is going out to find Miguel?
Correct.
If there is a fire or whatever, and the fire department can't get there yet, who do you think manages that fire until a fire department can get there? That would be the park rangers. Who do you think is also, not only are they doing the serious work, they're also giving tours and training junior rangers and all this other kind of stuff that's absolutely needed. So they're saying so far that the amount of jobs that have been cut has been around 75,000 federal workers. And federal workers doesn't just mean people who work at the IRS or whatever. That means anybody with a federal job. At 75,000 people just gone right there.
People who don't understand what the hell is going on right now, need to have where is Schoolhouse Rock when we need it, right?
I know.
We got our 3 branches of government, but they're not attacking those 3 branches of government because he's one of them. He's got control of the judicial, and Congress are a bunch of cowards. So Congress, this is basically like, Omar, it's basically like Omar telling you, Kia, here's the checkbook. Go make sure you pay all of the bills. Make sure you pay the everybody needs to get paid to take care of this house. And you're like, oh, sure, no problem. And then when people send you the bill, you be like, man, I ain't paying y'all. But I ain't paying y'all. And I'm minimizing, and that's basically what's happening right now. Congress has told the budget has been approved. This is where money is supposed. He's to the point that he's going to banks. Why does this? You know what? There's something going on. I'm freaking.
Something's going on my computer.
Yeah, it's just jumping on its own. It wants me to get to that story. I'll get to it in a minute. But it's it really boils down to he's hitting the administrative where he's taking. I was watching 60 Minutes the other night, and in 60 Minutes they were taking literally they're shutting down departments. The consumer financial CFFB, I think it is. These people who are the ones who protect our money, keeps the banks from stealing money from us. Now we're gonna shut them down too. To the point they're not just shutting them down; they're going out there with a little scraper and they scraping the names off these buildings. And these buildings are sitting in DC right now with nobody in them, nobody working. So here's the hypocrisy for all you guys who think this thing is a game. He is treating this like a real estate deal. He's talking about Gaza like a real estate deal. He's talking about he want to get to the point. One breath he says, well, I think all federal workers should be back in the office. They shouldn't be working from home. If they are, they'll be on the golf course or playing tennis. And oh, by the way, they shouldn't have a second job either. These are all things that Trump, you can look it up. He said all of this. At the same time, he's firing people. So what's going to end up happening is that those buildings are going to sit there and then they're going to go up for sale. And who do you think are going to buy those buildings, Kia? Who do you think it'll be the first ones in line to buy those buildings and get that real estate? Mayor Bowser in D.C. said 2 years ago that if the buildings are going to sit there, nobody's using them, and we have a housing problem in D.C., turn them into apartments. Let people live in them, right? So these people don't need to be in the office. They're getting the work done, whether they're in the office or they're at home. That's what the internet is for. Everybody works off of the web anyway, right? But when it's all said and done, people are just falling for this 3-card Marley, like, oh, he says everybody can be back in the office, but you're firing everybody.
You're firing everybody. And here's another thing I think is crazy. You're firing everybody, but you're also giving them an opportunity to get bought out. And the buyout is like some crazy amount of money, but you only get the buyout if you it was like some weird deal that he was making with people. And some people understandably took the buyout because if I'm fired, I lose everything. I lose my because if you're a federal worker and you're higher up, you get a pension, you get benefits for the rest of your life. Everything's cool. If you get fired, like the lady who's over the Social Security, she resigned because she's like, what am I gonna do if I have no benefits and no pension to fall back on? Like the
And
higher
so then
stuff
there's
for my
other
job.
people who have taken the deals, and Trump has reneged on the deals that they took.
Yes. You're exactly right. And just to go on with the firings didn't just stop at federal workers. It also, in our military, that weirdo, crazy psychopath, Pete Hegseth, fired I want to get her name right. Okay, he fired the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General C.Q. Brown, and Chief of the Naval Operations, Admiral Lisa Franchetti, both removed from their positions late Friday. These aren't just people who got their jobs overnight. Admiral Franchetti has served her country for 40 years.
Correct.
C.K. Brown has served his country, I want to say, also 40 years. These people have earned their stripes, literally earned their stripes. And they were just let go and just told, we're good. Well, and only because Trump wants, not because he's going after the best of the best. We're seeing the world's worst case of DEI, where I want my friends there. Which, guys, that's also DEI when you don't really know the qualifications. And he was a pilot. The new guy's a pilot. The pilots are great. Pilots are fun. So here, you go into this job now. It's DEI.
Of course it is. All this stuff is a sham. I'd laugh only because there's no other choice right now. This is so transparently racist, right? This is so. And here's the other thing which is going on, because I don't know if you've been following the stories with all the town halls are going on and people are wild. So now supposedly there is an act which has been presented by a congressperson, I think from somewhere out west. So basically they're going to make it difficult for women. Like your maiden name is Gainey.
Yes.
Your birth certificate does not say Shakur. And so if you go, they want you to have to present these documents in order to vote. And if your legal documents don't match up with the name that's on the roll, then they're going to deny. They're trying to get people to be denied. They're trying to get to the point, not only they're trying to suppress the vote of minorities and black people, but women as well. So now you got white women out here in these streets.
License and my birth certificate to vote?
If your license and your birth certificate do not line up, which they will not, because you were born Gainey, you are now Shakur, you may have a problem if this passes through Congress.
And see, there's a lot of dumb stuff they're presenting that's not making it anywhere. For example, they're trying to make Trump's birthday a federal holiday. That did not go anywhere. They are trying to push this whole him getting to run 3 terms. That's also not going anywhere. So like it's almost like people are worshiping the ground Trump walks on. It's like, if I present these things, he'll choose me to do something and it'll be awesome. So I'm just gonna say this crazy stuff. Does it not
It's
come off like it's just about hero worship and it's not really about
I'm
what
not
it's
I'm not
about?
going
Does that
I'm
make
not
sense?
going to read this whole I'm not going to read this. This is a public post, I believe. If you go to I'll put it in the chat
Who is
where
that?
this judge she explained executive orders. So in essence, if he can get people to buy into these executive orders and not challenge them, then we're screwed, because it's all about the public opinion. It's all about trying to shape how people are moving and responding and putting pressure on these Congress people to push back, because all of this stuff is going to be legally challenged. Did you see the deal with the governor of Maine when he talked to the governor of Maine and
And
told the
she was
governor? Did you see that clip?
kind of pushing back
She
or
was
something weird.
absolutely pushing back on
Yeah.
wherever they were. He calls her out and says, is the governor of Maine here? And she's like, yeah. She's like, or are you going to comply with such and such? And she's like, she basically said, no, go screw yourself. And he was like, well, you're not going to get any federal funding. He's going to cut off federal funding to the whole state of Maine because he don't like the governor. And I said to myself, he's getting to the point where let's just see how much people are willing to push back. Let's see how much the state of Maine and the state of California are willing to say, yeah, this is a glitch going on in the system today. Let's just see how much they will push back. I know why it's doing that. And say we're not going to send our federal funds to you. Will they go that far? We'll see. We will see.
And I talked about this before. He is slowly alienating U.S. citizens because what I realized on social media that's
Is
really
it
funny.
slow? He hasn't been in office a month.
I know, but okay, fast. But I realized a lot of his supporters, they don't live in the U.S., which I think is the most obnoxious, funny thing I didn't realize. When you go to these social media profiles, they're not real. They're not real people. They're bots. And some of them don't live here. Some of them live in Poland, Russia, and they're all commenting like, just deal with it. Yeah. You don't even go here. You don't live here. Why are you commenting on what we have going on?
Yeah, you don't even live here. And that to them is, it doesn't matter, because you just had the German election happen over the weekend, and even though the party that aligned with Trump did not win, but this level of populist is all over the world, but unfortunately, the way our system is set up here in America, it's easy to, especially when you have control on these electronic ballots, to really leverage it. So it's a lot going on. It's a lot of wildness going on.
Really quick, that I also thought was really crazy. The fact that they are having conversations about ending the war with Russia and Ukraine without inviting the president of the Ukraine.
Right.
They're having
him a dictator. Right.
Like, how is that possible? And now they're trying to say that the UN cannot put sanctions on Russia. So how do you have a conversation about ending a war with just one side? How does that work?
This is all theater. It's all theater. This is not a real place right now. We're not living in a real place right now. These people are basically saying we really can do whatever we want. We're putting on this show like we really care. What's going on? I looked away. What's going on?
Nothing. You missed the joke. It's 5 people saw it.
Okay. All right. So anyway, so it's theater. We were doing all this work trying to call ourselves supporting Ukraine until now we're not. And then you somehow, well, you got to give up 50% of your reserves, your mineral reserves, in order for us to continue to defend you. That is his most recent conversation. So hold on. Let me put this up, because this is the conversation with the Maine governor. Let's see.
Are you not going to comply with it?
Let's start that over.
Immediately, by the way, that's good. But I understand Maine. Is Maine here, the governor of Maine? Well, are you not going to comply with it?
I'm complying with state and federal law.
We are the federal law. Well, you better do it. You better do it because you're not going to get any federal funding at all if you don't. And by the way, your population, even though it's somewhat liberal, although I did very well there, your population doesn't want men playing in women's sports. So you better comply because otherwise you're not getting any federal funding. See you in court. Every state, good. I'll see you in court. I look forward to that. That should be a real easy one. And enjoy your life after governor because I don't think you'll be in elected politics. Every state has a responsibility to comply with Title IX. They have an obligation, legal.
It's wild, man. We are. It's wild. And here's the thing, black people. We're gonna play our position. We're gonna play our role. But this is gonna take white folks. This is a white folks fight right here.
Yeah, this has nothing to do with us. This has nothing to do with black women. I know we've all seen the meme of the black women sitting on top of the building in our cute outfits and our natural hair, drinking our coffee and watching the world burn. It has nothing to do with us.
Yeah.
And to the black men who tried to do what they were supposed to do, it has nothing to do with y'all either. So dear Jewish Americans, dear Palestinian Americans, Middle Eastern Americans, y'all Hispanics, y'all got a lot of nerve. Don't ask us for nothing. I don't care. Don't ask us for, I'm not doing, well, can you come support my daughter's Little League? No, I'm not supporting anything. No. Can you buy Girl Scout cookies? No. Can you come to our car wash? No. Can you come support us getting our rights? Absolutely not. Yeah, I might put up a sign voting against you. No.
Y'all on your own. All right. Let's time to get into some meat. Let's get into some meat. All right. So I sent you a little homework. With what was going on with Isaac Hayes III. And I want to make sure I get her name right. I think, are you familiar with Francesca Ramsey?
No. I probably, if I saw her face, maybe.
All right. So, this is Francesca Ramsey. Her IG is Chessy. Like she's got let's see, she's at 310,000 followers, whatever. All right. So she had a beef with, and matter of fact, I'm gonna let her explain her beef first, and then we're gonna get into a little bit of conversation about this here.
January, when we thought that we were losing TikTok, and a bunch of people were saying you should join Fanbase because it's black owned, and I said being black owned is not enough. No shade to Fanbase, no shade to Isaac Hayes III, the founder. It's just I don't see a reason to join, and y'all tried to eat me up because I remember y'all said I was anti-black. You said I don't support black businesses, and I'm a sellout, and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Well, one thing about my intuition is it's rarely wrong. Because Isaac Hayes III hopped onto Blue Ivy's internet to proclaim that it's the kids that will decide if Drake's music is relevant or not. And in this post, he says, the world belongs to K. Sinnott. The one who said that black Americans don't have any culture, that one? Academics. Oh, the one who was just caught grooming a 15-year-old boy on his live stream? And Aiden Ross. Oh, right. Isn't that the one that platformed Andrew Tate, lots of white supremacists, used racial slurs, said he watches his sister's OnlyFans, and was campaigning for Donald Trump? The world belongs to those three motherfuckers? Okay, cool. And then when someone said, hey, maybe you should focus on updating your app so that it can actually compete with Instagram and TikTok like you want it to, his response was to say, you can't spell and you have too much foundation on. Yeah, this is a 49-year-old man, and here is how he responds to criticism. This is the person who wants us to rush to his app and support it and spend $399 so that we can be investors in his app. Yeah. But my favorite moment by far was when a number of people said, hey, Drake has actually said some sketchy things about young girls. And Isaac said, if you think Drake has had relation with teen girls, then you need to get off the internet. Oh, really?
What about your relationship with Drake? Tell me about your friendship. How did this all come about? I love him. I met him in Australia, and he's honestly so fantastic and a great friend and a great role model. We just texted each other the other day, and he was like, I miss you so much. I was like, I miss you more. He's coming to Atlanta, so I'm definitely going to go and see him. I'm so excited, yeah. What advice does he give you? What does he say? About boys. He helps me. What? Yeah. He's great. He's wonderful. I love him. Advice for boys? That stays in the text messages.
Now, mind you, Millie Bobby Brown was 14 years old in this clip, and Drake was 32. In what world is a 32-year-old man sending text to a teenager saying, I miss you, and giving her advice about...
I'm going to pause it there because it's a lot. And when I say it's a lot, this is just the beginning. It went on for 2 days. So I want to pull up something really quick. This is a screenshot of what she had posted, and let's read what it says. Right, the kids love Drake. His primary fan base is between the ages of 18 and 24. These younger kids don't give a damn what a bunch of old men with white beards in their hair said about Drake. A lot of y'all are the editorial equivalent of Kurt Loder or Donnie Simpson to the youth. The problem is you have microphones, cameras that think you really matter. The world belongs to Kai not academics, Aiden Ross, and these kids, and there's nothing you can do about it. LOL. All right.
And he's right.
Of course he's right.
I mean, you may not like... I think her weird beef is that she doesn't like that he's right. But me and Miguel, and I'm not trying to step on your point, but me and Miguel have been podcasting for a while. We have also social media people, digital advertisers. We have to keep our fingers in the tempo all the time. Right. And she's right. Drake is a bum. But people younger than me, not Miguel's age, because they don't, younger than me is where it's up. Like 30 and younger, They love Drake. Drake can do no wrong. Kai Cenat does run the world, especially the younger generation. Aiden Ross, we think he's racist. We know he's racist. We know he's weird.
Right.
But kids love him. They don't care about him being racist. They care about him being funny and entertaining. Andrew Tate, same thing. A lot of men, the manosphere, love Andrew Tate. He is a deplorable piece of garbage and is probably going to prison. But that doesn't change the fact that there's a group of people who still like him.
Whole bunch of people in our audience have no idea who Kai Cenat is. This is just IG. Kai Cenat has 13.3 million followers on IG. That doesn't even include right now, if he's on Twitch, he's blowing Twitch up because that's what he does when he's on Twitch. And to your point, so was Isaac a bit hyperbolic in saying that, they run the world? Yeah, a little bit, but that's the word. Everybody talking about what everybody does. Everybody doesn't love this. Everybody voted for Trump. Everybody. Drives me bananas because it ain't everybody. But when I tell you that they went so deep on Isaac over the weekend to the point that, his whole app is a Ponzi scheme. You're trying to get you to invest in the app. People don't talk about, you got to pay to even do to like or engage on the app. All lies. You've never been on the app. If you think Fanbase is something you have to pay to be on, you've never been on it. And the crazy thing about it is that part of the arguments were, it's trash app. You trying to raise money to make your app work better. I think he's on round right now where he's trying to raise some, I think the last thing he posted was, I don't know, whatever the number is nowhere close to what, these guys are worth. And just, you can go on Facebook or IG today and something won't work. It just happens, right? It happens all the time. The only way that you make things work is you put more money into it and dump more money into it. And let's just give Ike a round number of $20 million. And I think he's put more than that into it. I don't know, but whatever it is, it's minuscule compared to the guys that are on this screen right now and the resources that they have to build the app. So, when I kept watching this attack over the weekend, and primarily the attack was coming from Black women, and I'm about to piss some Black women off right now. I get it. It is what it is. And Kia, feel free to represent Black women if I don't make sense with what I'm saying.
I'm cool.
Black women have become some of the biggest bullies on the internet. Period. Point blank.
Now you about to say some ignorant shit.
Yeah, okay. It's whatever.
The biggest bullies on the internet?
I said some of. I didn't see, once again, I didn't know absolutes with me. I said some of the biggest bullies on the internet.
Okay, I'll go back to my wine. Me and my wine are just gonna hang out here till you're done.
Right. But I do want your response because I watched them try to turn Ike into a pedophile, try to turn Fanbase into somewhere a grooming place for people to groom children and over Drake. Like, yeah, people love Drake. Okay, and the point he was making, if you follow Ike, which most of these people have not, he speaks a lot of stuff from a marketing perspective that somebody like us will understand, which he laid it out. So when it's all said and done, he ended up issuing an apology, and I think in part because what he did, and I don't think it's up anymore because I don't think I can find it. he posted a picture because this Francesca Ramsey woman was formerly married to a white dude. And he put together this slide and whatever. He was just getting back at her for getting at him. And when I tell you the nonsense that went on over the course of the weekend, to the point that I think it was, let me see if I can find it. His apology should be pretty. Let me see if it's pretty high up here. Okay, here we go.
Speech. I believe that everybody has the right to express their opinion no matter what, especially on social media platforms, which is the reason why I built this one. But let's talk about what's been going on the last couple of days. On Friday, a video was made about me using content by a creator named Francesca Ramsey. I don't personally know Francesca Ramsey. I've only communicated with her one time back in 2022, inviting her to Fanbase. I've never said anything negative about Francesca Ramsey. I've never made content about Francesca Ramsey. The subject of her content was the fact that when the TikTok ban was happening, she was being harassed online by people that were calling her anti-Black for not joining Fanbase, because she said being Black enough is not a reason to join an app and download it, which is her right. Her reasons were that I use references of Aiden Ross, Kai Cenat, and DJ Academics as the inheritors of culture moving forward in media. My use of those three individuals was in no way an endorsement of any of their behavior, but they are arguably some of the most popular streamers online. And that was my point, that younger generations are going to get their content from this generation. I guess Francesca thought that that was an endorsement of their behavior. And so she gave a scathing rebuke of my character as an individual, assuming that I support these gentlemen, which is not the intention of what I did, and she will not be joining Fanbase. I made a response in a series of tweets. And some of the things said in those tweets crossed the line. And I apologize to Francesca for that. I want to make something clear, though. When you take a person and use them as a backdrop and make commentary of them, they have a right to respond. I responded to content made about myself. Granted, what I said crossed the line, and I take accountability for that. Subsequently, there have been attacks on my character and my company and people that I care about. And I want to express how dangerous that is. I absolutely agree with the person's right to not use Fanbase, disagree with if I like Drake or not, disagree that if I think young people are going to inherit culture. But the narrative of misogyny and attacking Black women is just simply not true. And it's very dangerous. And it speaks to an issue in our community, the African American community, that's really troublesome. We're in an era right now where we need each other more than ever. We got to have each other's backs. We got to not be throwing darts at one another because we don't agree with the choice in rap artist or perspective future of what an industry may be about. And that's what took place here. And as a CEO of a company, there's a...
So you can hear the rest of that. But okay. So after he goes out of his way to do that, she basically posts, apology not accepted. Okay, bye. Bye, chick.
Yeah.
Bye.
Here's my concern, because that was a long-winded apology for a firestorm that he created. And let me tell you why. And this is from a PR marketing standpoint. If you were his actual PR person and you would have saw that first post him respond to somebody, you would have been like, let me talk to you real quick. Mm-hmm. What you're not going to do is do any back and forth over the internet. Like with the position that he's in, that is not a good look. Mm-hmm. We do not want to see that from him because it only drags him down in the dirt and drags the app down in the earth. If he just would have done a general video and not responded to the comments, that would have been great. Fine. It just said, hey, this is what's going on. This is not true, blah, 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 but it's okay. People can have their opinions. I'm open to free speech. Bring it on. But let me just be clear about certain things. Mm-hmm. But he did make some comments. I mean, for honestly, when he said about the whole Drake, if you believe Drake slept with teenagers or has been inappropriate with teenagers, you're stupid or whatever he said there. That stuff is true though, and she brought that up. I mean, and also she got what she wanted. She got you to be in the dirt. She's another girl who honestly, you know my opinion. To all the Black women who are on social media and you're content creators now, I'm proud of you because you're not on the poll and you're not on OnlyFans. And that's what this girl is doing. You're not on the poll, you're not on OnlyFans, so you're talking crap on the internet. Great. But you bring nothing else to the table, madam. Like, I'm sorry. Like, she wanted to drag him down into the dirt and she got what she wanted. She
You know,
did. She got what she wanted.
no, you're right. You're right. And I think that's why he finally did apologize or issue this apology because it wasn't worth it. You know, my response to when I heard the apology was I applauded him and said, now let's move on. Because there's people who think that this woman has the power. I saw some comments about how, oh, now Fanbase is dead. You know, there's a bunch of videos of people canceling their Fanbase account. Fanbase is so far from dead. Fanbase is in its infancy. And this conversation, that all conversations that go online, they don't last. These type of conversations don't last, right? But I can imagine, you know, in full disclosure, I know Ike personally. He's not one of my closest friends. I'm not going to sit there in front on none of that. That's not what I do. But I've been around Ike enough to know how passionate he is about this and how hard he is working and how he was out there campaigning for Kamala Harris and how and all the other people that are in this Atlanta community in this space who know Ike, who respect him, who don't have a negative word to say about what he's now, you know, with any CEO, any business, there are people in this town that hate my guts. It is what it is. You can't please everybody. But the point is that where it went and the attacks, and you guys can go out online, go feel free to go on Threads.
I'm looking at it right now. I'm looking at the back and forth between
people. It's so long and so sordid, and the whole pedophilia accusations and all this about, you know, his fan base is a scam, and now why are you having? Because today he had Kevin what is his name? Kevin O'Leary, the guy from a Shark Tank, was he did an interview with him, and I haven't listened to it yet. But people say, well, why are you associating yourself with Kevin O'Leary? Hey, clowns, let me help you explain something to you. All these social platforms that we spend so much time on, they're all represented by people who don't give a damn about us. They're all owned by people who don't give a damn about us, except for Fanbase.
Why is Isaac so pro Drake?
It's not about him being pro Drake. It's about he is a metrics person. He talks about this where everyone's talking, just like I just get a little annoyed when people say everything, and this is what's going to happen. All this stuff that's going on with Kendrick Lamar and Drake, everybody says that Drake's career is over. As soon as the Super Bowl was over, Drake dropped an album with Party Next Door. I don't even know who it is. And the album went to #1, right? And so his point is always that the demographics say that people under the age of 25 are still rocking with Drake. The demographics say that men between the ages of 30 and 45, 25 to 45 are the ones who are rocking with Kendrick. So when we get to talking in these circles, like we only go on, the people who we love are the ones who say we love Kendrick. I love Kendrick. I think the album was dope. Not Like Us, been banging it for 8 months. I've never been a huge Drake fan, but I didn't necessarily dislike Drake. So the point is that whenever I hear Ike talk about it, whenever I see his post, it's more or less about demographics and just refuting the fact. And here's the other thing, full disclosure. If he gets a Drake to come on Fanbase, it's over.
So no, it's definitely over. But here's the weird thing about Drake, and I think you can agree with me on this. Women my age should still be rocking with Drake because he got famous with my age group of women, because when he came out, we were all 17, 18, 20. We were all in that group. I don't know any woman who's still a Drake fan, not even because of the Kendrick Lamar situation, just over the past couple of years. Nobody's bumping new. I don't think anybody has bumped new Drake, I want to say, since pre-COVID.
If we pull 2008, 2009, whenever Drake came out, if we pull out 2011, 2012 Drake and then pull out 2025 Drake, it ain't gonna sound the same. Because Drake is someone who always, whatever is the trend, he's gonna try to slip himself into that.
He has no identity. That trend. Drake has no identity. Drake has no identity, and he's never had an identity.
he is French vanilla ice cream. Everybody loves French vanilla ice cream. They might put some sprinkles on it or some fudge on it, or they might put some strawberries on it or whatever. But the base is like milk. It's French vanilla ice cream. He is just so and
You just call that boy milk.
oh, but you got my analogy. My point is that
No, I
he's made a
do.
whole rack of money by being able to shape shift depending on whatever was hot today. And that's where the colonizer from Kendrick comes in, right?
Yeah.
Because you're really just being whatever the market wants you to be. You know, the
Yeah.
great thing about Drake being biracial, I believe he's biracial.
Yes.
Being biracial, being from Canada, being a former actor, being very much someone that's similar to the quarterback in Kansas City and these other, you know, you're at a point now where he's the type of palatable person of color that people love. And don't get me wrong, Drake is very talented. There's songs over the years I'm like, oh, that's cool, that's a nice little track, whatever. But I can't think of nothing. I'm just like, ooh, I gotta go bump that Drake. But
And
I'm
that's
not.
the problem with Drake.
But I'm
Drake
52 years old. I'm not supposed. He's not for me. He ain't for me.
I don't know. Well, we're getting off topic.
Yeah.
Topic. I wanted to respond back to you saying that Black women are the biggest bullies on the internet.
Some of.
And I feel like we've had to be. It's evolved into that because we are constantly being attacked for the dumbest stuff that has nothing to do with us. Let's use a perfect example.
Mm-hmm.
When we were attacked as a group by brilliant idiot podcaster Andrew Schultz, when he basically said Black women we stress men out and that's why we lose their hair and this and that and just talking bad about us. When what no Black woman calling out Andrew Schultz? We don't even know who you are, sir. Well, I know who he is because I listen to podcasts all the time, but
Right.
Why are we dealing with that? When we're constantly told you are the least attractive woman to ever get married and you won't get married until you're 50 and that we're constantly attacked. And now, like for a lot of Black women, when you say something to me, I'm going to snap on you. And I don't want to hear your mouth when you're complaining that I've snapped on you. Mm-hmm. I have had all the garbage of America, of the world, telling me I'm not good enough, I'm ugly, I shouldn't have this job, I'm this, I'm that, I'll never get married. This is where we are.
But and I get that. And you know, I'm a fierce defender of everything Black. Mm-hmm. Until you cross me across the culture. I'm a big defender of everything Black. There's certain Black people that I can't stand. Rest assured, there are plenty. But you can go through, Isaac is very public. You can go through his Instagram, his fan base, his whatever. And you're not going to find a bunch of I'm shitting on Black women posts.
No, not him.
But that's that point. That's my point. My point is they found somebody who was willing to backpedal as much as he could and took as many blows as he could take in this scenario. And to the point he said, you know what? Just to get these women off my back, I'm going to issue this apology. And I'm not saying that the apology wasn't warranted for the portion that he was apologizing for.
He could have kept an apology.
Well, but here's the thing. That's what the demand was out there. The demand was apologize and move on, apologize and move on. And I sat back and I said, you know what? My response was, thank you. Appreciate you, Ike, for doing it. Now let's move on. Because that's all they were looking for him to bend the knee. And I was just like, you know what? It is what it is. Because at this point, they're not going to stop.
It's not going to stop. But who is in his PR corner? Like who? There has to be one person. It can't just be him thinking, I know everything. I'm going to do
I personally don't know. I don't think he thinks he knows everything. No, and I don't know if he has any, who is advising him. I don't know that. But what I do know is that a big portion of how he builds his community is being the face of that community.
No. You need to pop over to Lloyd Media so that we can have a nice little chit chat about what you should and should not do. Because I'm seeing a couple of things I'm seeing a couple things on your Twitter page that I would tell a client, you can be the face of your community without doing this. Like you gotta.
No, I don't disagree. I think he takes some risks sometimes. I have some good friends of mine, one in particular who's in the investor space, and he's like, Miguel, he's not going to attract the investors that he's looking for.
No, he's not.
Being this way. And I said, I get it, but he is trying to build it with the community in mind. Because if you take a bunch of VC money, then you're beholden to those VCs and what they're telling you that you have to do. And that's what he's trying to avoid. is having to is that. And so it's wild. You know, he's doing a dance right now. He's taking on uh you know Zuckerberg and Musk and those folks, and he's been going hard at them. And then at the same time, I think part of the reason why he was so hurt, and I haven't talked to him, I can't verify this, but he rocks with black women. He's like, these are my people. He got sisters. He's, you know, and for him to be attacked in such a way, I really felt like that brother was hurt. And so that's how he responded. So, you know, it's time to move on. It's time to continue to build. You know, and that's the problem that we have a lot of times as black folks, is that we don't focus on the build. We're so quick to want to get these little cheap ass victories. They say, oh, we took Isaac Hayes down. Whatever.
So really quick, we got to hop in it because I do have a couple stories for Han What.
Hold
My
on, you
last
gotta let me. Hold on, you can't call out Han What and don't let me. Oh, we're not there yet.
No. Okay. Before we get into Han What, I wanted to definitely make sure we talk about Joy-Ann Reid being canceled. The 5-year run of the Reid out on MSNBC is over. The Reid Out show was a casualty in the widespread programming shakeup at MSNBC, revamping MSNBC's lineup, which includes the cancellation of Joy-Ann Reid's program and replacing it with a program featuring MSNBC's The Weekend host Alicia Menendez, Michael Steele, and Simone Sanders Townsend, was a mission of MSC President Rebecca Coulter when she replaced former network president Rashida Jones in early February. So here's the thing. MSC and NBC is falling behind in the ratings. They have been. They have been, I want to say, would you say for the past 7 months they've been falling behind? Or has it been sooner than that?
I'll be honest with you, I'm not kept up with the ratings like that, but I would say definitely since November the 5th. It's fell off
since election day.
But I think everybody's not watched. I bet you we really did some research. No one's really watching news like they were watching it before November the 5th. Everybody's ratings are down. All three of the majors. But go ahead.
And MSNBC is trying to find a way to shake it up. They're getting rid of Joy-Ann Reid's show. And she's had the show for 5 years. And Joy-Ann Reid is a massive voice in the Black community when it comes to politics. And they also got rid of Tiffany Cross. Also had a great show, fantastic show on the weekend. That was
Melissa Harris Perry 7 years ago.
Yeah, Melissa, and that was a great show. She's I find her so funny. And then they've also gotten rid of some of their Middle Eastern, and I know it's about Joy-Ann right now, but I've also noticed they've gotten rid of also their Middle Eastern anchors as well. They either moved them to the back or just fired them outright during the Palestinian complex. Yeah. So it's almost like what MSNBC is trying to do is turn into Fox News Light. And
they're trying to be center right. It should be on Twitch. If you're not showing up on Twitch, it should be there. Yeah, it's there. I gotta work with you. Let me know how I do better with this Twitch thing. So they are certainly trying to be center right. They're trying to be center right without question. And
which is hard to do. Wait, you want to be center right with Michael Steele, as angry as Michael Steele is getting week after week on the show?
He's center right though. That's the thing. Michael Steele is perfect. He was the former RNC chair.
Yes,
he is center right.
Have you seen him on the shows lately?
Absolutely.
Have you seen him lately? He is not center right anymore. He is literally in his backseat about to tell these people to go to hell. That's where he is now. The last 2 shows I've seen him on. The last 2 shows I've seen him on, he wouldn't even sit up straight. Like he just was
everybody's pissed off right now. I don't give a doggone how Republican you are. If you are a conservative, and that's your world. All the conservatives I know are right now are over there kicking in the corner.
We're all
right. So here's the thing. You forgot about the other guy. What's his name? Jonathan. So not only are they eliminating Black women, they're eliminating queer folks. They're eliminating Asians, and so. They are what they think is sanitizing MSNBC to make it a center right. Think about it. When we talked about with the Morning Joe crew, Joe and Mika, when he first won and how he went down to Mar-a-Lago and they kissed the ring, right? You know, Rashida Jones, who was the head of MSNBC, Black woman, gone. You got to go. We talked about this. This is not new. They're getting ready to spin off MSNBC. And they're trying to find someone to buy it to silence them. And so then you have no opposition. This is not a game. People think I get up here and I kind of laugh it off, but this is not a game. They are looking to silence all opposition voices. Period, point blank. Before we get out of here, we got to talk about your boy who you can't stand, Jamal Bryant, and what happened with the Black History event and them having. You saw that? You didn't see that? Oh, you didn't see that? Okay.
No, because my hell was something different. So what you do yours, what I do mine second. You go first.
No, you go ahead because I want you to see this. I want you to see. Matter of fact, I should have it lined. I should have it in my feed. They are looking to silence. They're looking to silence us all. This is not a game. Y'all think this stuff is a plaything. We're gonna look up. They firing all types of people, all these middle class people who live their lives in DC based off of these great government jobs. So here's your man Jamal Bryant. I'm gonna let you check this out. I know this is your man's and all.
Look at the person beside, tell they done picked the wrong one this time. Look him in the eye, tell him we ain't ever scared.
Let me give you some context. So a bunch of white conservatives went to the White House for Trump's Black History event. And part of it was them walking around with one of the sticks with Jamal Bryant's face on it, talking about, holding him accountable. He's got to be held accountable. Because right now he's leading his charge, boycotting Target, and it's having some impact. And so here was Jamal Bryant's response at his church over the weekend.
Yeah. Okay.
We ain't ever scared. Look at the person beside, tell they done picked the wrong one this time. Look him in the eye, tell him we ain't ever scared.
Can we fast forward to the clapping and get to the talking?
Only new birth, y'all. Look at the person beside you. Tell them never scared, never scared. Ooh-wee.
Never scared, never scared.
All right, let me see if I can find it because there's
First
one.
of all, you can't put no Jesus swaying on.
I want
Never
you to be
scared.
focusing on DIY. Do it yourself.
That's another bad brother, John O'Brien. I'm gonna try to find. There was another with.
When you look at that Black History Month presentation he did, it was a joke. Kodak Black, Lil Boosie, the only one who was
Talking about Trump.
Yeah, it was a clown show. It was definitely a clown show. So my while you're looking for that, is the fact that the Philadelphia Eagles apparently had an internal player meeting that they weren't going to the White House if they were invited, because they didn't go in 2018 when they won. They weren't going to go this time. But apparently that was the player conversation, because the owner got a hold of it, was like, so you guys are going, or we'll issue a respectable statement. Y'all making comments on social media, delete it and stop talking to anybody.
I saw that. I saw that they came out and said that no, we're going. And here's the thing, they've created a great culture in Philadelphia in recent time. And here's the thing: some of those better players may make that decision to say, I ain't trying to play for Philly then. Now mind you, it ain't too many other places you're gonna be to go. That's gonna make a difference. All right, so I can't find it right now, and I was looking at it earlier. Basically, he ran down these Black conservatives, man. It was wild, and I know I can probably find that quickly. But it's just the level of coonery, and I don't like to use that word, but it's wild, man. We are really in a very strange place.
Now they're calling him the pro Farrakhan pastor. Fox Business.
Jamal. Well, that's a good way to try to act like he's something that he's not, right?
What
But
the heck?
so this was just that woman right there in the front. I'm not gonna talk about her, but
Isn't that your friend? Or didn't she go to? Is that the one who went to school with Tracy? No, that's not her.
no, that's not Mary. Hells to the no. These black conservatives and this guy right here. Well, this is a post. I can't think of this guy's name. When I looked him up, he seems to be a pretty popular conservative guy. But he sits up there in this video and he basically talking about, holding them accountable. Accountable for what? Accountable for standing up for black people? Is that what you're holding them accountable for? And I just look at this stuff and I sit back and I just say to myself, man, we are really in the middle of a shit show. And these people who really believe that Trump is going to stand up and give them anything, it's a lie. Trump ain't gonna give him nothing. He ain't giving up nothing. And I look at this stuff and I look at how these people respond. But like Jamal Bryant, I know what work he's doing here in Atlanta and nationally. This Target fast, I think it's targetfast.org or targetfast.com, whatever it is. It's got some impact. And that's the only way economically we're gonna make it. Because we spend a lot of money as black folks. If we sit up here and start to pull back, what rabbit hole you done went down? I see you down on your phone. What rabbit hole you done went down into?
I'm looking down because I'm looking at the Jamal Bryant post. Like this girl, Shamika Michelle, serial adulterer. She shares my opinion about him, but whatever. Pastor Jamal Bryant called black conservatives coons for attending the White House Black History reception. He's not talking to black conservatives. And people need to start making this clear. And you need to tell other people in your world, stop saying black conservatives. Please start saying black MAGA supporters. We are two different groups of people. If we all met in the street, it wouldn't be no hugs and high fives. It would be knuckles and fists and fighting and pulling hair. Because we MAGA supporters and true conservatives don't agree on anything. Look at Michael Steele. Look at Condoleezza Rice. Right. Condoleezza is one of these top black female conservatives, one of the smartest women I have ever seen. She would never. Huh? What?
Where's Condoleezza right now?
Because she won't. She would never come out for Trump.
But the point is, she can come out and oppose Trump. It takes the Condoleezza Rices, the Michael Steeles. It takes that faction of black conservatives to say, and not just black conservatives, because once again, we didn't already say this earlier in the show. This ain't black people fight. It ain't enough of us. We ain't deep enough. We ain't got enough power. White conservatives, Hispanic conservatives, Jewish conservatives, they all have to come out here and say, we putting out big coins, because a lot of them got big money. We're going to put ours to support somebody who's going to challenge this guy. This guy set up there and said to the governor of Maine, if you don't take this money, if you don't get in line with what we say, we're not giving you any federal funding. We cutting you off. And I'm going to primary you so that you can never be a politician ever again. Somebody's got to finally say, yo, dude, F you. And it ain't about us, because we already saying it. Blacks, liberals, union people, now federal workers. He's burning bridges everywhere, but it still ain't enough. It's got to be enough conservatives and enough middle of the road white folk who says, I can't, this is way too much. What happened in Roswell, Georgia, with that congressman out there, when I know we're running over, but you got to give me 10 more minutes, because that congressman out there in Georgia and his town hall that was full of nothing but white people screaming at him.
Oh yeah,
they give me the popcorn.
Throw them. They were, and this is what white Republicans are facing. They're not facing angry black constituents. They're not facing the black woman bullies. They are facing angry older 40 and up, maybe even 40 and up. Let's say 50 and up white
50
people
and
who
60
are
and
like,
up. Yeah.
You're a liar. You're stupid. What are you talking about? This is not what we voted for. Why is Elon Musk in the White House? What are you talking about? And they keep saying, oh, they're just liberal older people. How many liberal older white people do y'all know? None. They're very few and far between. Like, what are you talking about? This
is when you start talking about taking people's jobs, checks, you're not even giving people any sort of you're just not sending money. You just, people coming into work, left work on Friday, and they get an email on Sunday to say, don't come to work, you fired. Ain't no place in the world that's cool. I don't care if you're a damn stripper, they're going to give you a damn weekend, they're going to make you some money before they send you on your way. These people are saying, nope, We cutting your checks off. We changing key cards. We not letting nobody in the room. Department of Education, gone. Consumer Federal, whatever board that keeps people, the banks from stealing our money, gone.
The Kennedy Center of all places, and a true American institution that has celebrated arts and music for decades, that has never been discriminatory. Oh, you about to go ahead? I'm just saying.
Guess whose money ain't getting cut? Department of Defense, where all his contracts are. No. He ain't cutting that money. Them people ain't getting fired. So, man, this is wild times we're in. But finish your thought. Go ahead, finish your thought before we get up out of here, because we're gonna get up out of here in a minute.
It's just a weird place to be in. Like, the Kennedy Center Honors is going to come up this year in 2025. And who are they honoring? They're actually talking about having the January 6th choir performing at the Kennedy Center Honors. I mean, people may not know that's hallowed ground for artists. You want to be there and you want to be honored there. But
Sorry, go ahead.
We're having
go ahead.
The January 6th choir. I mean, is that where we are?
We quoted one of them in the angle.
On the right.
And I really appreciate, first of all, even though we disagree on some issues, I really appreciate your being here tonight to share some thoughts and maybe even get somewhere. So thank you for coming. Bishop, is the MAGA hat racist?
When it comes to the MAGA hat, it's a piece of clothing that represents Donald Trump and everything that comes along with Donald Trump. Donald Trump is an unrepentant racist. Is an unrepentant racist.
What?
The MAGA hat to many is representative of a Klan hood or of various other symbols of racism. Absolutely. It absolutely is.
What's going on here? Is this real? Did he just say that on a cable television? Bishop, I don't
absolutely
know
said
I'm
that.
not willing to defer to the man of God line to you anymore after you just said one of the dumbest comments.
Well, it really doesn't matter what you refer to me as. You don't define me.
That is the dumbest thing I have ever heard in 7 years of doing.
That's our new deputy director for the FBI. Cash Patel, confirmed.
Who is that? What's his name?
That's Banyani.
No, I know Bongo. I know Bongo's name. Black
that's
guy.
Talbot Swan. Talbot Swan. You should follow him. He's interesting.
Okay.
He's got an interesting, and there's people like Talbot and there's people like Jamal and people that are out here fighting the fight. Joy-Ann Reid will now be in those internet streets because she won't be on MSNBC every night. That are basically saying, hey, it is what it is. I'm fed up. I'm coming at whoever I can come after. And we're going to try to get this thing going. Hey, man. I ain't even, I didn't get shit. What did we miss? I know there was a lot. What did we miss? What was this last?
I mean, honestly, it's just really the Eagles who are not going. Who knows if they're going or not? But front office is trying to figure it out because here's the problem. Nobody wants to make the White House mad because they are so petty. Mm-hmm. But I think the NFL also understands a lot of their players don't want to go there, and everybody, no matter if you're working in the federal government or the NFL or the NBA, everybody's trying to walk the. Well, he can't do it with the NFL, with the NBA. It's too many, and I almost said the N-word. I was like, there's too many black boys over there. There are too many black people over there, but everybody's just walking this weird fine line. So this is going to be a very interesting 2 months.
2 months? What? Why did you say 2 months? Has been or will be?
It's been a very interesting 2 months, and it will be worse going through. But hey, if you're going to lie on your taxes, this is the year to do it. What?
It's been 1 month. It's the 24th. He's been president.
I count all of January. No, I count all of January because stuff got started getting stupid then. So January and all of February. But again, like I said, if you're going to lie on your taxes, this is the year to do it. Why? Because he fired almost how many IRS agents? 4,000? Something crazy.
I don't know. He done so much crazy crap over the course. And it's been 4 weeks. It's been 4 weeks. It's been 4 weeks.
Cheers.
All right. I wanted to tell you about all the fun I had this past week with your party and the Pinnacle Summit, and which was amazing. I met a bunch of black millionaires this past weekend, and that was cool. Who don't give a daggum about none of that.
Party with a lot of single women, and I wish I had more men to bring there. Are those millionaires single? Can I start sending them IG profiles to my friends?
There's a community, and I don't know if you've ever heard. Have you ever heard of Dr. Stormy?
Dr. Stormy?
Yeah.
The fake behind wellness coach, Dr. Stormy?
The multi-millionaire, Dr. Stormy, yes.
The one who said that her plate was low vibrational? That Dr. Stormy? Don't play
I
with
don't
me.
know. What does that mean? Low plate? What is that? What did you say?
Remember, she was the woman who remember Dr. Stormy went viral because she said somebody had a low vibrational plate, even though they had the same plate of food. You don't remember that?
No, I don't. I
Oh
don't.
my
I,
God.
I don't. But let me just show you something real quick. This is part of where I was this week. Where is my? I just lost my place. Yeah. That is the cult following that was Dr. Stormy at this event.
Yeah,
This
she's a
event,
huge cult following.
she has a huge following of people, a lot of them that I've never heard of, never seen before. There's quite a few network marketers that were in the room that do very well. But she's got an interesting story. 10th grade education, dropped out. Anyway, there are a lot of folks, man. We got to find ways to get into our space, find our zones, find out where we're going to live and excel, and just live there. Because if we trying to play this game that of living in this world about to eat a whole lot of us up. I'm telling you, folks better figure it out, man. And I'm telling you, I'm in a headspace right now where I'm just like, head down, find the right tribe, make that bread, and then create options. Because America ain't the only option right now. It's American looking real ghetto right about now. All right, appreciate y'all.
Bye, guys.
Happy birthday again. Amazing birthday. That's my people right there. And to all my family, hold on, before I get up out here, because my oldest baby turned 25 on the 20th.
Mm-hmm.
My daddy turned 76 on the 23rd. You and Layla's birthday the same day. She'll be 12 and you'll be 40. February is an expensive month for me.
That's how my brother feels. Because as you saw, his wife walked in, his daughter walked in, his mom walked in, and his sister walked in all at the same time.
Oh, yeah. Save up your coins. All right, peace and bye-bye.